All right, Patriots, I just returned from Mar-a-Lago, and let me tell you what I witnessed there on Tuesday night was extraordinary. UFC champions, Hollywood producers, business titans, all gathered for the premiere of The Man You Don't Know. And Patriots, I was there shaking hands with President Trump himself, getting exclusive interviews you won't see anywhere else. And when Patrick Bet David pulled me aside, what he said on camera explains exactly why they're terrified of Trump's return. Now, have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? Well, I recently saw a video that he made. I was shocked. He's in his 80s. He's still kicking butt. He's working out, staying active. What's even more shocking is that he's stronger. He can work out longer, has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. And well, he did this by making one simple change. Now, Chuck says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing the same thing. She's never felt better. She says she's felt 10 years younger. Her body is leaner. She has more energy. Well, make sure you go watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/next or clicking the link below this video. You will not believe just how simple that it is. Okay, now let's jump into this because I'm going to share with you probably, as you can see by my post, probably the best moment of the night, besides shaking hands with real Donald Trump, was when Patrick Bet David said this to me at the premiere.
COVID, he was.
You said your father watches the Next News Network. Give a shout out to all the viewers, and your dad's watching right now.
My dad during COVID, you were one of the three guys he would watch. You have to watch what this man says. You have to watch what this man says. He was a viewer of you in 2020, 2021, 2022.
It was awesome. So, Papa Bet David, this one's for you, man. I love you, and you have raised a good son. This guy's he's got a head on his shoulders. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to make that money, and he knows how to produce great content, educational content on his podcasts, on his YouTube channels, everything. So, I love what your son does, but I was even more honored to know that his father was telling him, "Son, you need to watch Gary Franchi of the Next News Network." And what's funny is that when I first saw Patrick on the red carpet, before we started rolling the camera, I wasn't wearing my glasses. And I introduced myself, and he goes, "Wait a minute, don't you normally wear glasses?" And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Oh boy." I said, "That's awesome. That was really cool." And that's when he went in to tell me that his father watches me. And because I honestly did not know who Patrick Bet David was before the pandemic, but we had interviewed a doctor that went mega viral, the late Dr. Rashid Buttar. And as I was tracking all the video and all of the like where all this, because it went so viral, it was everywhere. And then Dr. Rashid Buttar was doing interviews on every platform. And as I was searching, I found Patrick Bet David interviewing him remotely. So I'm like, wow, this is really cool. So that's the first time that he got on my radar. And of course, maybe that's why he interviewed him, because his father said, "You need to watch this guy." And then he goes on Patrick Bet David show. Okay, so Papa Bet David, you have raised a good man. All right, let's get to my second favorite. Well, they're both equally as great. All right, if you're watching right here, this is the moment that Donald Trump, because I'm standing there, I'm like right in the front, and I got my camera up on a stick, and I'm like right there. You can't miss me. Donald Trump walks up on the stage, and I reach my hand out and shake his hand right there. I was like, yes. And then later on, he looked at me, gave me a thumbs up and a nod. And my buddy Shane was standing behind him. We got some remarks from Shane. So let's jump into some of these reactions that we got from the red carpet. These are some really intimate conversations that we had with Juliana Pena, the UFC fighter, Donald Trump's best friend from school, high school roommate, Forgiato Blow, talking about things. We've got, if you want to see the full 12-minute speech, we'll play some of it here, but you can go to my X account. I've got it published there. We also, I believe we published it on the YouTube channel too. Yeah, I think it went like totally viral as well. Okay. And we got Patrick Bet David's full remarks regarding Donald Trump and Vincent Oshana also, who works with Patrick Bet-David. He had some great things to say. So there's a lot to unpack. We've got the producer, we've got the studio head of the Global Ascension Studios. So much to unpack here. So let's just jump right to this. Is Donald Trump's school friend.
Trump since, and I feel like joking around to say I don't know why I'm here, but anyway, I'm here because I'm a friend of Donald Trump since our first year, my first year of high school, and I know him pretty well. We lived together in high school. He was my captain, and
what personal insights do you hope people will learn from this film that you know about Donald Trump?
That Donald Trump is here to do what he can do for the American people. I mean, you know, he doesn't need anything for himself. He doesn't need any great to make more of himself or put more money in the bank. What he needs is to see America turn into the place it needs to be, so that his kids and grandchildren and the rest of us have a better world. He sees the stupidity of the way things are running, and he has no choice. He has to either fix it or watch the world go down.
So the election is 14 days away. How critical is the legal landscape? We're looking at lawfare all over the place with the president. How do you think that's shaping voters' perception?
I think it works more for Donald Trump than it was against him. Yeah, you can say, aha, you're a felon, but everybody knows that it's nonsense. They know that it was a setup, and I think to a great extent they identify with it, or they see it and understand the injustice of it. It's just so wrong. Most of all, I think people are realizing that it's taking away, it's a diminishment of our freedoms in our country, that we're losing America. And I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that this is real.
That was Peter Tickton, Donald Trump's high school roommate. We've also got, this is Forgiato Blow. I was introduced to him after he did his Target commercial, his Target music video.
He did a good job. Well, man, I love Donald Trump because Donald Trump loves America. He's America first. He's family first. He's trying to save, whites, blacks, browns. He's uniting all different people. I think he gets a bad rap in 2020. Fake news really did a good job trying to paint him as a racist. That's why we got illegal immigrants out here, because it's not happening anymore. We got blacks out for Trump. Like I said, Spanish people out for Trump. Everybody's fighting for Trump. And I think this movie's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to open the eyes of a lot of things people haven't seen about Donald Trump.
What do you say to people with respect to the music industry and how it has the power to influence people? Because you use your music.
Music is the most listened to thing in the world. Like I'm saying, anybody's going through something, they're playing music. If they're hanging out, they're playing music. Music's always played everywhere. So anytime you can put politics in music, it's going to work. But there isn't something new. They've been putting politics in music for years. NWA was doing this stuff. Public Enemy was doing this stuff. Rap and country and all types of genres has always been part of, saying politics. It's just now they scrutinize it so much, right? Like, oh, this guy's a Trump rapper. This guy, Donald Trump on his chain and all this other stuff. It's not really about that. It's about Trump's name is so big. They've been rapping about Trump way before this whole stuff was going on. Every rapper talked about Trump. Every rapper wanted to be like Trump. Millions of these people who hated on Trump rapped about Trump at one time. So it's coming to the light now. That's all it is.
Now, there's a lot of background noise, so I have to apologize for that. We did give people a microphone so that they could talk into it, but there was just so much background noise. Here's Juliana Pena. She's a friend of mine, actually, and she's the UFC champ right now, bantamweight champ. She just won her fight, and here's what I asked her. Juliana, what brings you out here to support President Trump? I mean, he's a fighter. You're a fighter.
Yes, absolutely. I think the biggest thing for me is when I met him at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, he came up to me and he said, I am a big fan of what you're doing. I love what you're doing. You're doing amazing things. And I was like, wow, that really, it was genuine. You could tell that he actually has seen my fights, He's a great supporter of the UFC, great supporter of Dana White. Those are my bosses. And so any friend of Dana is a friend of mine.
So we got 14 days until one of the most important days in American history. What message do you want to send to the American people for what you want them to do in these next 14 days to make a difference?
I want them to go out there and physically vote for Donald Trump. I refuse to believe that they're going to allow Kamala to steal another election. It can't happen, and they can ensure that by going out there to the polls and voting.
You recently won another belt. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were watching the fight at home, and when you go into that ring, like, you get in your zone. What kind of zone do you think that Donald Trump is in right now?
I think Donald Trump has got his blinders on. He's not looking to the left. He's not looking to the right. He's looking right down the pipe, right down the clown's mouth, right down to the finish line. He's focusing on the business, focusing on the task at hand, and that's just Donald Trump in general. The man is all about standing on business, and I just enjoy those principles so much. He's a no BS kind of guy, and I think that that's kind of what our commonality is. I'm a no BS kind of person. I'm a no BS type of fighter, and so is Donald Trump.
14 days left. What's your message? What is the message?
Let's make America great again. I'm ready to make America great again. I'm ready to see it go back to the place where it was thriving back when he was in office. So let's make it.
Let's make America great again. Juliana Pena right there. I actually saw her fight in Las Vegas, and I have a photo of me and her and Angie and the belt. I've actually never shared this before. Here it is. There's me and Angie and Juliana. This was when she won the first time. Yeah, we are all Star Spangled Out. This was right after the fight. It was an amazing moment to be with her, and to have her be there at Mar-a-Lago was really something else. Let's go to this is Christopher Martini. Christopher Martini is really unique about him because he, well, you'll hear him say it, but I actually interviewed him for one of his first movies he ever made years ago, when I was with another when I was on broadcast television.
Probably the most Global Ascension Studios is the reason I'm here. You know, it's crazy. We're here in March, premiering The Relentless Patriot, and here we are back here in October with another movie. They like what I did with The Relentless Patriot, sort of telling the story of Scott Lebedo, who has taken a lot of heat for being a conservative artist, a Trump supporter, and they put their faith in me to direct this movie about possibly the most polarizing, controversial figure in the world right now. So a lot of pressure. The timeline was unbelievable. We finished this film. It's in theaters in less than 2 months. I don't know. I've been in the industry my whole life, and I don't know if that's ever been done. I'm sure some of those great guys back in the 40s probably did it, you know, when they were pumping out movies. But incredible. And, you know, when you make a movie, I always say that it's not because you know the subject matter inside out. The great thing about making movies is you can sort of sit with your subject matter and learn about them throughout the course of the movie, and then the movie changes as you're making it because you're learning more about the subject matter. That's the amazing thing about making art. So, you know, I knew that I supported Trump when he ran. I voted for him in 2016. But the amazing thing is that, you know, and I knew I would support him after making this movie. But this movie really did show me that who he really is something completely different than what's being portrayed. There's always like a gray line in between, and you know, but hearing from sort of his family and his friends, the people that he raised and that he was closest to, and then these stories that we have in the film of the people that he helped, you can see that the truth is always somewhere in between. It's not what they're saying. It's sort of there's another side of that. And that's what this movie is we're showing the other side. So it was you know, as you can see with this film actually made our beliefs then actually
millions of viewers worldwide who appreciate the power of documentary filmmaking and politics.
Well, Next News is my favorite because of you, Gary. You were one of the first persons that, one of the first networks that interviewed me for my film Trooper. So I will always support you guys. I don't know if I answered the question, but you guys are amazing. So you'll be with me till the end, and I hope likewise. So thank you guys.
Thank you. That was awesome. That was so cool. Let's go to Patrick Bet-David's remarks because he was on fire. Let's go to him.
Beautiful property.
What brought you out here to support President Trump and this film?
Anytime you get invited to Mar-a-Lago, this is a beautiful property. I love beautiful properties. You want to come here. We've been here many times. We do actually private events here once a year. But I'm also very interested in what this documentary is all about. Anytime there's good documentaries, whether it's about him, Sound of Freedom, others, we're curious about it. And then obviously we're 14 days away from possibly the most important election of my lifetime. I'm 46 years old, and these are strange times, and how we vote in 2024 could dictate what direction America goes. So those are some of the reasons why I'm here tonight.
So with the, you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You look at money. What is Joe Biden doing in this economy, and why aren't people paying attention on the left?
Why aren't people paying attention on the left? Unfortunately, you have to know we are at a point right now where there are the people that no matter what Biden and Kamala do, they're going to vote for it. They're not changing their minds. No matter what Trump does, there's a camp that's going to vote for it, no matter what. The community I'm interested in is the undecided and the independent voter. To that community, I have a very simple message to give. I'm an entrepreneur. I hire people all the time, and I do interviews, okay? So imagine you're running a company. This company's been around for roughly 250 years, okay? You have two employees that want this next executive job. Both of them have worked for you for 4 years. I can go to my CIO and get all the data of how one of the candidates performed during the 4 years and the other one. When I look at one of the candidates, no war, the economy was great for white, for black, for Hispanic, you name it. It was at peace, we're having fun, things are going good. On the other side, the 4 years of resume, we're losing money, not safe, families don't feel safe, the security in our building isn't secure. You want to talk about borders and immigration. A ton of wars are going on that shouldn't be taking place. Which of those two candidates you think you want to hire for the job? It's a very easy hire. This is probably the easiest hire a person will ever make. And everybody watching this, you are all investors. You're paying the money. You don't own the company. We're all shareholders of this country, right? We get to decide who we want to be the CEO of the company. We have 4 years resume to choose. The easiest votes possibly in the history of America is 2024.
You said your father watches the Next News Network. Give a shout out to all the viewers, and your dad's watching right now.
My dad during COVID, you were one of the three guys he would watch. You have to watch what this man says. You have to watch what this man says. He was a viewer of you in 2020, 2021, 2022.
I could watch that 100 times. That was so great. That was a beautiful moment for me. Here's Vincent Oshana dropping some mad truth bombs.
And
What brings you here? Why are you supporting President Trump? Are you supporting President Trump?
100% supporting President Trump. I was in the United States Air Force. I got out, was chasing my dream in Hollywood, moved to Hollywood. And the moment this man announced his presidency, it was just attack. And being an outsider myself, I knew right off the jump what was going on because as we all know, if you go on YouTube and see videos of Donald Trump in the early 80s, everybody loved him, everybody praised him. Letterman, everybody, The View, they were all kissing him and loving him. The moment he said, I'm going to drain the swamp and fight for this country, they all said nope. And I say this all the time. When you drain a swamp, the alligators, the snakes, they don't leave quietly, and they haven't. But he sacrificed it all for us, and there's anything that's going to show a lighter side of the president, I'm gonna watch and I'm going to support.
We got 14 days until the most important date in American history, next to Independence Day.
Yes.
What's your message to the American voter or people who are on the fence?
Get the hell off the fence. That's exactly what I tell them. I go, this is not the time to just sit this one out and let it happen, because it's not a cliche. It's not just a saying to throw away. This is the most important election of our lifetime. We know exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to shut us all up. They're trying to take your guns. They're bringing in 20 million people here to replace us. Okay, and these are the Democrats, the same party that is pro just abortion. Let's just kill all these unborn babies. Are the same ones complaining about the declining birth rate. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. That's Bill Clinton did that the other day. So I just think it's too important. Get out there, tell your friends, bring a group. You have to go out there and freaking vote. Okay, we've had 4 years of Trump. We've had 4 years of Biden. Give me the case study. One is horrible. And guess what? And enough of this whole party, whatever. It's not about a party. It's about America. It's for the future. And it's get off that fence, get in the middle, and go vote.
What do you say to people who are so dug in for Biden, Kamala Harris? They're oblivious to the financial crisis that they've placed us in. What do you say to those people?
I tell them to just take a step back and get out of your bubble. Go actually listen to the other side. Hear the other argument. Hear other podcasts. Hear other point of views, because like the numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. Okay, the country's not in good shape. And again, they're trying to destroy us from within. And it's like you have to wake up. Talking to the other people. Tom, what's that saying that you say about numbers?
Words scream, words talk, numbers scream.
Words talk, numbers scream. And they're screaming in these people's faces, but they don't want to listen. So it's your job, it's your duty out there. If you have these people and you have these friends, you have to wake them up. I know that they're dug in, but you have to try to break through that freaking that brain of theirs that's just so brainwashed. You have to show them the examples, and like he said, the truth is right in front of your face, and they can't deny the truth.
They can't deny the truth. But they have to get out of their bubble. And a lot of people are afraid to do that. Let's get this is the producer and the head of the studio. That's Jack Lombardi. We've also got David J. Harris Jr. Let's go to Sean. I'm sorry, Shane. Why did I say Sean? Shane Bouvet. And I wouldn't have been at this event if it wasn't for Shane. Do you hope you're out here? You're in the film, The Man You Don't Know. So as people feature in the film with your father, what aspects of President Trump's character do you hope will resonate with voters in these final days?
His heart. And that's what I believe this film is going to capture. I had people that were amazing, like Gary Franchi, Jack Lombardi, my mom, my dad, who's been supportive along the way, and that's all I want to do is capture the heart of our president, 45th president, our 47th president of the United States.
So how do you think personal stories like yours can make a crucial difference in voter decisions with just 14 days left?
Well, it just shows that Donald Trump believes that every American, you can be at McDonald's and you can volunteer and rise above expectations and become somebody. And he believes that the forgotten men and women are no longer forgotten in America.
You're out here. Amen. Amen. Forgotten men and women are no longer forgotten in America. Here is David Harris Jr. What brought you here, and why are you supporting President Trump today?
Well, I think anything that I can do to help shine light on who the man Donald J. Trump is hugely important. The Democrat army is the media. The liberal mainstream media is the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. America loved Donald Trump when he did The Apprentice. America loved Donald Trump. Rappers loved Donald Trump. Rappers wanted to be Donald Trump. It wasn't until he decided to run for president as a Republican that all the hate started, and all the vitriol started, and all the twisting of who he was. So I think a movie like this, to highlight who he is as a man and who he's been as a man, is hugely important for Americans to truly understand why he is the right person to be president of the United States.
So with the election just 14 days away, what do you see as the biggest threat to its integrity, and how can voters respond?
I think voters need to respond. They need to turn out in person, vote. They need to make sure that they absentee, turn in their absentee. We've got to show up in so much force that it's too big to rig, because we understand 2020, we know what they did, we can't let them do it again. We've got to make sure that the cackling comrade Kamala Harris is not the one that's going to lead this nation, because she will lead it directly into communism. She'll want to destroy, murder, dismember babies in the womb, and she'll want to take away religious liberties and our freedoms and our Second Amendment rights. So we've got to go the other direction. The last 3.5 years has been absolutely horrendous for this country. America needs new leadership. We need President Donald Trump.
Ain't that the truth? We need President Donald Trump. Let's go to Let's go to the studio heads.
Was making some content or not producing content in certain areas or arenas. We wanted to fill some voids in together, and we decided to come together and do so. So, we both stand behind President Trump and his values. So we really, really are we're excited to have the world see this movie.
So this is on the left is Arthur Sarkisian. He's a big Hollywood producer, and on the right is Joshua Masciello. Right? You see that, Josh? Oh, it's Joshua. See, I heard people calling him Josh, right? But I called him Josh, and he said, "Call me Joshua." I don't know, whatever. Joshua Masciello. Okay, so given the current woke climate in Hollywood,
hold on one second.
Oh my goodness!
Patrick, so Armenian.
I do.
Okay, so Patrick Bet-David crashes the interview, and Joshua introduces him, his producer friend Arthur here, as an Armenian because they both, I guess, Armenian.
Yes, that's Pasha. I am also. Really?
He's going to come around 9:30. Movies and creativity needs to be free. There shouldn't be so limits, or you have to have this many actors or this kind of. When you're creating, Richard Dreyfuss said it best. You can't put limitations on creativity. You have to let it be what it is. That's what we're here to do. We're here to take media back.
Okay, so we got 14 days until the biggest date in American history, next to the 4th of July. What's it going to take to get this country back on track? Hopefully your film is obviously part of that.
It's going to take Americans opening their minds and not being brainwashed and seeing what's really going on. That's what it's going to take. They have to understand what is in fact happening and what they're being fed and what's not true versus truths. The truth will set you free. And I think if people realize the truth, then the right man will be in the White House, and then we'll start to get law and order and then everything back in place where it needs to be. There's too many people who are insane running the asylum.
Speaking of which, yes, what do you think about how Hollywood is pushing these narratives and how it's poisoning the mind of the American people? Of course, you have media in Los Angeles, and New York, mainstream press, MSNBC, CNN. Like, what is that doing? Like that narrative that they keep pushing. When I turn on those news channels, and I just see them spewing, they're saying that Republicans are going to burn down election centers. This is what they're saying on MSNBC. I mean, as a man in the press, in the media, entertainment, when you see that, what do you think?
I honestly think it's disgusting to do that to the American public or to any public, to try and brainwash them. And unfortunately, there is this power from them that they try to force it down your throat. Some people that are above it don't buy it. And a lot of people who do, I think they will change their minds. They should, because otherwise we have nothing left. Yeah. And I'm not political, I'm just saying, I've been here since 1977, just in my business, Hollywood side, making movies. The way these movies were being made as to what's happening this past year, is absolutely ridiculous.
We see you now. So, you can see the full thing, the full interviews on my X channel, and I think we also uploaded them here. Let's jump in. Wait, do I have? Let's go to Jack Lombardi. Tell us, we're here with Jack Lombardi. We are at the Man You Don't Know. Jack, tell us why you're here and why you support President Trump.
Well, I mean, the character assassinations that they've done on President Trump, the propaganda, the manufactured prejudice that they've, orchestrated against President Trump. I mean, the truth had to be told about him and his good character and who the man really is. And, I'm here with Shea Bouvet, who is in the movie. He's also, he has his new book, A Man Misunderstood, which I believe you spoke about on your show. And it just tells the truth about President Trump and who he really is. Why I support President Trump? Well, I mean, he stands up for the common working man, the regular Joe, the regular person who just wants to go to work, do their job, get paid, pay a little bit of taxes, and be left heck alone. That's why I support President Trump. Also, you know, he's been somebody that's been able to negotiate in such a way that, you know, it brings the power back to the state as the Constitution originally set forth for the United States. I mean, that was the standard, and we're bringing it back to the United States to what it was supposed to be, and always its great glory. That's why he says, "Make America Great Again."
Amen. Let's go to the part where Donald Trump shows up. I mean, we were waiting for a long time, and the place went nuts when he showed up. Oh man, we got so many clips here. I mean, we've got Act for America founder here. We've got Siggy Flicker. She was the sponsor of the event. And I know we're already running long in this segment. We've even got Miss Wisconsin 2005, and she shared her story. I mean, again, I've posted these all on our X account, and I want you guys to go check it out. If you're not following us on X, you need to do that. Let's go to the moment when Trump shows up.
He was unconscious. Remember the old one, then the finger starts to move, and then the arm, then he puts them away. But I just want to thank everybody, very, very special. So I have to see this because I've heard it from so many people. Now here's the good news. What did you think, Ziggy? What did you think?
Had to start. Your children did an amazing job. Kai, your granddaughter was perfection. This man brought tears to every single person here.
Frank Malone did a great job, unbelievable job.
That's great. That's great. Thank you very much.
But the topic was easy. It's you. So that's it.
Here's the good news. We gotta win.
Yes.
We got 14
We will win. We will win.
14 days, and we're leading substantially, but we cheat like hell. Okay, I told the Hulkster, I said, Hulk, we're leading, but they cheat. He's never heard about cheaters. You know? Very innocent. He's a very innocent man. But they do, and the early votes are in, as you know, the very early ones, and it's 4 days. You know, I think it's amazing, actually. North Carolina was devastated. I was there yesterday, devastated, like you wouldn't believe it. I was there right after I followed it in, and you couldn't even see anything. It was so bad. And now I got a glimpse of it yesterday and the day before, and you've never seen anything like it. Houses that are no footings, no anything, everything just wiped out. And yet, it was just announced that they set a record in voting. Think of this. They set a record in the last 6 elections. They voted more with no houses. The people are, I don't even know how they got back onto the land. And yet they set an all-time record for votes cast. Who would think that, right? Literally, they've lost their house, and they've lost members of their family in many cases. Many cases, a lot of people lost. They're still lost, and it's, you know what that means. And they set the highest record, and that's an area that's a Trump area, and we're doing very well there. But it's pretty amazing to think a thing like that could happen.
The full interview or the full presentation of Trump's remarks is on our YouTube channel. It's also on our X account. Make sure you go and check those out. And, you know, go see this film. It's out in theaters on Friday. and you can go to Fandango. You can look it up. You'll find it, and take two friends to go see the film. You need to do that. And again, such an amazing moment to see that film. I watched it. Angie watched it, and I'll tell you, I probably cried like 5 times. Okay, I cry enough on this channel, but when I watched that movie, it really touched my heart. And I went up to Christopher Martini after the film, and I said, my only critique is that I wanted more. I wanted more, but there were so many stories, and they had so much time to fill it that it's like you can only fit so much into a 90-minute documentary film. But the fact that they were able to highlight so many individual stories and individual people and events that Donald Trump had a personal hand on uh, will really open your eyes to the true character of this man. A lot of stories you've never heard before. So make sure you go check it out on Friday. Take some friends, because this movie could really change a lot of hearts. And that's what we need to do. We need to change the heart of America, because there's too much hate. And we see it coming from the left. We see it coming from the media. We see the words that they're spreading. Kamala Harris, using her vice presidential platform to smash Donald Trump as some kind of Hitler character. It just makes no sense. What do you say, Donald Trump?
I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody. Who uses it more than I do?
Exactly. So from Trump's high school roommate to Miss Wisconsin's emotional revelation about how Trump saved her life, the stories coming out of this premiere are devastating to the mainstream narrative. Next News Network was there to capture it all, but here's what I want to know from you. Why is Hollywood suddenly willing to tell the truth about Donald Trump now? What has changed? And how do you think this film is going to impact the election? Share your thoughts below, and let's discuss what this means for 2024.